This is Beyond the Headlines, and we are X-raying Saturday's governorship election in Anambra State, where incumbent Governor Moghalu was declared a winner after polling a total of 422,664 votes. Candidate of the Labour Party in that election, George Moghalu, is my guest on the program. Welcome, Mr. Moghalu.
Thank you very much, both of you.
So, Mr. Moghalu, you came a distant fourth in Saturday's election. You polled only 10,576 votes. That is more than 400,000 votes less than what Governor Soludo recorded in that election. Why are you faulting his election victory?
I've actually lost your voice. I've actually lost the audio.
All right, so I was asking about why you are faulting the victory of Chukwuma Soludo in Saturday's election, considering that you came a distant fourth, polling only 10,576 votes.
Yes, I agree with you that I came a distant fourth, as the records show. I've lost you again. I'm not hearing you.
I'm not speaking at the moment. Please keep responding to that question.
Okay. Yes, I agree with you. I came a distant fourth as recorded. But the truth about it is that the elections were marred with irregularities. And from my perspective and that of my party, we believe that very strongly too, that the election wasn't free, fair, and is not credible at the end of the day. But be that as it may, we have issues with the election, and we have tried to bring it to the public domain. When we talk about the issue of vote buying, we talk about underage voting, we talk about results not being available at various polling points. There are quite a lot of issues that played out, which we do not accept, which we think is not right for any election to end it, the standing of a credible process. And that is actually why we object to it. Like you rightly observed, yes, we came a distant fourth because in my character and in the character of my leader in the party, I wouldn't subject myself to the point where I need to buy votes to be able to show up the numbers. I don't want to participate in any.
But Mr. Moghalu, these allegations you are making are quite weighty, and you know, for each of those points you make, there should be evidences to support those claims, you know, that you were making. So do you really have anything to show that indeed there was underage voting in Saturday's election, that indeed results, were not available? How do you defend all of those?
Oh, yeah, there are instances. It is not a fabric. There are instances. Sorry, we have a problem with the audio because as you're talking now, I'm not hearing you.
The thing is, I asked the question and I allowed you to respond. So at the moment, I'm quiet. It's when you responded to the question, I pose another.
Okay, what I'm saying is that even the question you asked, I didn't hear all. I heard to a point.
Right. So basically, I was asking about evidences to support the claims you've made about underage voting, vote buying, the fact that you also said, results were not available at a polling unit.
I'm surprised if you don't say you know about it, because it's been an issue in the public domain for quite a while since after the election. There are evidences that are abound that we can present when we talk about issues. One thing I want you to take to the bank here is that we will not allege when we cannot prove. If we say there's cases of vote buying, we have evidence to show that. We have records to show that. It's not about us this time around. It's about even the election observers. I'm sure that you are aware that the issue of vote buying has been in constant discourse across the country, especially from those who participated or those who observed the electoral process. So for us to raise any issue, certainly we are in a position to defend it or in a position to provide evidences to justify our position.
Mr. Moghalu, my colleagues in the back room have just told me it appears you're watching and listening to yourself through the TV, so you would have to do us the honor of listening through your device so that we don't experience any delays and we can have and enjoy the conversation as well. Now, following Saturday's election, many stakeholders have actually congratulated Governor Soludo on his victory. And that even includes the president. And he has said it's an affirmation of visionary leadership. Don't you agree that it is actually a sign that Governor Soludo did well in his first term, and residents of Anambra State have only awarded him or rewarded him with another 4 years?
No, I have no problem with anybody congratulating the governor. No, that is not a problem at all for me. It's because everybody's action is consequent upon your beliefs and what you stand for. If the president congratulates him, so be it. The president feels that that he won the election credibly, so he has a right to congratulate anybody he feels like. Even if any of us, even any of the candidates have a right also to either decide to congratulate or not to congratulate. Like I did say in my first press conference immediately after the election, I said, fine, the election has come and gone. The INEC has issued a statement with regards to declaring who they say won the election. I have no objection to that.
When you say who they say won the election, does it mean that you believe Governor Soludo did not win that election? In your estimation, who won that election?
I wouldn't be able to tell you who won the election because all the facts that has to do with the election has to be brought to the public domain and discussed. If at the end of it, it's not cast in iron that Professor Soludo may not have won the election. It's not cast in iron. He may have also won the election. But what I'm saying is that everything has to be credibly put in proper perspective so that whoever wins the election, like I said, if you recall, the interview I gave TVC before the election, I said that I wish that we will have a credible process at the end of the day that I will be among the first people to congratulate the winner if I don't win. And that position is still sacrosanct, and I stand by it. So by the time we finish assessing all what happened, by the time we finish consulting, and then looking at the reports we are getting from the 5,718 polling units where we participated in the elections, by the time we put all our reports together, and then we can now take a position.
Mr. Moghalu, you have mentioned the number of wards in this election with your party participated. Did you actually have agents, party agents in all of these locations?
Yes, we did. We had agents across the country, across the state, sorry. And they were uploaded into the INEC portal.
The reason I asked that question is that the report brought forward by some election observers, for instance, we had one on the show yesterday, and they, of course, give an outline of party agents representing different political parties. Based on their report, APGA actually had candidates, agents rather, but your party did not have as many agents. So if you do not even have, or if you did not even have agents across all polling units, how would you be able to, really verify or confirm what happened at those locations?
That assumption may not be correct. That assertion may not be correct. We had 5,720 agents uploaded into the INEC portal, and they reported at the various polling units on Saturday. And we are receiving reports from all of them and receiving results of what transpired in those polling units. And that is why I said, honestly speaking, if I'm in a position, if I have a report from all my polling units, like I demanded, and they are being collected, and we're looking at it, the team is working on it, I'm sure that in a matter of days, we'll be come out with a comprehensive position and the report as it affects all the polling units within the state. The truth about it is that we have agents spread across the state. If there are circumstances where an agent that was uploaded for a particular polling unit did not appear, then that is a case to be treated on its own. But as to whether we uploaded 5,720 agents, we did that. The records are there. INEC received them, and we have a report from INEC confirming that they received those numbers that we gave to them.
Now, on Sunday, you said that your party would announce next steps soon by the time you review the elections. So I'm curious, have you at this point decided on your next steps?
Today is just a few days after the election. That's what I said, that the committee is working on it. Okay, by tomorrow next, we should be able to conclude what we are doing, and then we come out with a position.
And in this particular election, we know that turnout was about a little above 20%, of registered voters. What do you think is responsible for that? Why are residents and voters in Anambra State not coming out to exercise their franchise?
I have said it in time past. You see, our people lost confidence in the electoral process because their votes never counted. And the best thing for them to do was just to leave the process to run without them being involved. I have said that INEC has an opportunity to win back the confidence of the people as a way of addressing the issue of voter apathy. I agree that there is a need for improved voter education, which is not left only to INEC alone. The political parties also have a role to play here. But INEC must do things that will guarantee a credible process. And when the people see that the process is credible and their votes is not counting, then we see a change in attitude towards electoral processes. So for me, INEC has a great responsibility here to win back the confidence of the people by making their votes count. The moment the people feel their votes count, the moment they feel that they are part of the process, they get more involved.
There is a new man at the helm of affairs at INEC, and one of the points he's made is that he wants to restore that credibility, that Nigerians would have in INEC. Earlier, I was talking about one of the election observers we had on the show on Monday. Now, one of the points he mentioned is that for this election, during the campaign and even for the election itself, that there was that case of weak opposition. I mean, it just appeared as though it was only APGA that people were seeing. Would you actually say that you did put up a fight? I mean, you did put up a showing to be considered in this past election?
Somebody raised this issue, and
All right. Let's see if we're able to get Mr. Moghalu, because we are already towards the end of the show. But let's see if we're able to get him, and then we'll wrap things up. The election held on Saturday, and in that poll, Chukwuma Soludo, the incumbent governor, was handed another 4 years to lead the people of Anambra State. All right, Mr. Moghalu, kindly respond to that question because we're wrapping up now.
I think it may be important at this stage. It may be important at this stage to advise that you allow me to speak. When you ask questions, you allow me to respond.
Now, the reason I was speaking was that you were muted at some point. I couldn't hear anything. There was some network challenge. But please, respond now, please.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that when you have a party in government that has access to unlimited resources, their access also to publicity is also unlimited. They are in a position to pay all the TV channels for their everyday activities. So you are bound to see them more than you see any of the opposition parties, because we work within the limits of the resources that is available to us. You don't expect to see Labour Party as visible as you see APGA, because the resources available to APGA is unlimited, and they had all the assets available to them.
But in this election, Mr. Moghalu, I would allow you to quickly land on that point, but I just wanted to react to that, because in this election, YPP actually polled more votes than Labour. YPP had 37,753 votes, but we don't really hear about them at the national level. So what happened to Labour?
No, I made it very... See, I made it very clear to you. I made it very clear to you in the course of my speaking when I introduced this topic that I will not participate in any form of vote buying. I will not participate in. I rather will have 1,000 persons who believe in the message I preach, but I'm not ready to procure them.
So are you saying that the three political parties that polled higher votes than your party did in the election engaged in vote buying?
By the time you look at the reports that is available, you'll be able to know who and who bought votes.
Well, Mr. Moghalu, if by the time your party decides, perhaps you choose to go to the court, or perhaps you choose to just accept the election result, I mean, would you, because obviously now Governor Soludo would have extended, the is it olive branch now to olive branch to others in the election to be part of it? Are you willing to work with this government to bring development to Anambra State?
What you're trying to do is to preempt me, and I will not fall into the trap. The point here is that, granted, the governor welcomed development. He offered an olive branch to everybody who participated in the election. That is what is expected of him, for which I congratulate him. But the point here is that the Labour Party and myself, as the candidate of Labour Party, will come out with a position after we have assessed everything and all the reports have been brought in for us to take a position. And the moment I take a position on this issue, after wide consultation, it is not about me, like I've repeatedly said. It's about a team. It's about a group of persons. It's about a political party. It's about our program. By the time we come up with a position, I will speak to Nigerians. I'm going to address
Candidate of the Labour Party in Saturday's governorship election in Anambra State, George Moghalu, thank you very much for your time on Beyond the Headlines.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, that's the program, everyone. We thank you for watching. A repeat broadcast is at midnight and at 6 a.m. If you missed this, please be sure to watch then. I am Abosedi Adeniradremi. Have a great day.